will. That's when faith and trust must collide. Faith and trust must collide. I trust in the Lord, but I also have faith in him. Faith and trust have to collide. They have to collide, and when they collide, they spark something great. Because faith and trust are essential in you going forward in your Christian walk. When you are getting whipped on every side, trouble does not seem like it lasts always. But I have some good news that there is a small window that your giant has, and the window is getting ready to close. You have to be willing to deal with what's in front of you. Yes, there's a greater prize down the road, but do you have enough strength? Has God blessed you with enough strength in your weakness to deal with what's in front of me? Help me deal with what's in front of me, Lord. Help me deal with the obstacles that I'm facing. Help me deal with the challenges that I'm facing. Help me deal with the issues and the circumstances. Help me deal with all of that. You have to dig deep within yourself. The first thing about facing your giant, and there's something to look forward to, is that you have to find your inner strength. You have to find your inner strength. You have what it takes to bring down your giant. We could stop right there and close this message on the word that you have what it takes. You have the potential. You have the knowledge. You have been greatly created and crafted after his image and after his likeness. You have what it takes. You have what it takes to be successful. You have what it takes to be great. You have what it takes to be the head and not the tail. You have everything inside of you to be something special. My Bible tells me that if I just stand up against my giant, that God would do the rest. It makes no sense to believe God can turn things around if you aren't willing to find what he's placed inside of you. When it comes to fighting your giant, you have what it takes to fight it. You have to believe that. Do you really believe that you have what it takes? You don't have to worry about someone coming to pat you on the back. You can do it, man. You can do it. No, you can do it. You can have 100 haters fighting against you, but if you have what it takes, it doesn't matter if there was 100 or 200. It doesn't matter if there's 300 or 400. My Bible tells me that if God before you, if God before you, it didn't say if mom and daddy were before you, if the church was before you, if God before you, then who can be against you? And so you have what it takes. As David prepared to fight Goliath, they gave him a coat of mail to put on, and David said, I haven't approved of this. In other words, he was saying, this is not something that I wear. This just doesn't fit me. It just doesn't work for me. It may work for you because you were trained in that, but see, I'm just used to going to the field, have my little bag of rocks and some stones, and just whatever come my way, I just deal with it. I don't have to run back into the house and put on something that's heavy. I'm just a little boy. I'm just young. It don't take all of that. David said, I hadn't proved of this. I hadn't tried it, so I'm not going to wear it. He says, when I'm out in the field and a lion or bear come up against it, the same thing I had then, I'll use it for this giant now. In other words, he says, look, my life was in danger with a lion and a bear. And when I fight Goliath, it's still in danger. And so I'm just going to dig a little deeper. I'm just going to dig a little deeper and do what I got to do and slay this giant. Are you with me? Yeah. David says, as long as I find my inner strength, which is God, and use what he gave me, my bag of rocks will be okay. It may just be your prayer life that gets you through. It may just be the fact that you know how to lift your hands and worship. It may just be the fact that you know how to just shout and begin to dance and do all of that. It may just be the fact that you just walk into a place and lay prostrate in his presence. It may just be the fact that you know how to pray and lay hands on yourself. It may just be something so small to everybody else, but it's something so powerful and big to you. You have what it takes. Believe that you can handle the trouble that has hit your life. Get a hold of it. Don't let it get a hold of you. Get a hold of your problem. Don't let it grab you and squeeze the life out of you. Don't let it grab you and squeeze the breath out of you. Get a hold of your problem and say you're in the Lord's hands, and you've got to come up under his subjection. You've got to come up under his order. When you find that which is on the inside of you, you will begin to do stuff that you should have been doing years ago. When you start tapping into the treasures that you have inside of you, you'll be mad at yourself and say, why didn't I do that 10 years ago? Why didn't I think of that 20 years ago? Have you ever been watching a commercial and you see something on TV and you had the thought, and then you now see it being advertised and you wonder, how come I didn't think of that? That was the same business that God gave me, but I was just too timid. I didn't know I had. I was trying to get this together. I was trying to get this paperwork in. I was trying to find the land. I was trying to find the building. When God said, just do it. Just do it. You have what it takes. Ephesians 3:16 says, I pray that from his glorious, unlimited resources, he will give you mighty inner strength through his Holy Spirit. You mean to tell me that all I have to do is tap into what God has in store for me, and I can have what the enemy has stolen? I just have to tap into it. God has unlimited resources that never grow dim. They never wear down, and they're always there. Tell someone, just tap into it. Just tap into it. Just tap into it. You got to know that you know that you know. You just got to tap into it, man. I may not can help you, but just tap into it. I may not be there tomorrow. Just tap into it. Our bodies may be dying each day. Each day our spirits are being renewed. I took a blow from my giant, but each day I'm getting my mind back. I took a hit from my giant today, but each day I'm getting myself back. I took a few steps back in fear, but each day I'm going forward because my mind is made up to know that this giant must come down. Although my body is dying, my mind is coming back.